Welcome to this week's deep dive video. Sorry if I'm a little distracted, maybe a little lethargic, maybe a little sweaty because the air conditioning is out in the offices this week and it is currently 84 degrees. So that's nice and warm. And the good news for you, this should be a shorter deep dive video. Now, last Sunday we got to talk about Colossians chapter 2 and Paul's encouragement to the church there, talking about his excitement for some of the amazing things they have going on. Now, one of the things he honed in on was that they are and are to be an encouraging church, that they should encourage one another and be knit together in love. And I wanted to kind of hone in on that for just a moment and talk a little bit more about what that could look like practically in a church. Now, Linda, she does such a great job here at Northeast Christian Church, and she leads our Barnabas ministry, which is a ministry team dedicated to encouraging people when they're down. That could be the loss of a loved one. That could be a medical diagnosis that wasn't what we were hoping for. It could be all sorts of things, the loss of a job, a rough time with family, all those things. The Barnabas ministry here at Northeast seeks to build one another up and encourage them. Though ministry teams are incredible and can do incredible things, I want to encourage us on an individual level. You see, in the church today, we're pretty good about doing things corporately, but sometimes that corporate structure keeps us from doing things individually. And what I want to encourage you with this week is to ask the question, how encouraging am I? And when I talk to people, are they built up when they leave? I recently had a great conversation with a friend who was just beat down. Their life was not going the way they had planned. And as we talked, I thought, rarely do I find myself being a listener and an encourager. One of the dangers in being a large part of my job is speaking. Quite often I find myself speaking and not listening. And often in that just quiet listening, we find opportunities to be encouragers, to speak in, maybe to share advice, but quite often to just be the person there to sympathize with them, to help them, or to be a sounding board as they wrestle through some things in their life. And I want to encourage you this week to be a good listener, to look to the people around you, the people in the congregation, the people that God has put in your life, and listen to them. And as you hear what's going on in their lives, as you hear their struggles, as you hear what they're wrestling with, my encouragement for you is to also be paying attention and seeing the incredible things that God has blessed them with. And I don't just mean their possessions, and I don't just mean things like family, though those are incredible. I mean, what are the attributes? What are the gift sets that God has equipped them with? Quite often, God has prepared us way before we ever encounter the problem. And sometimes it takes a person on the outside to say, hey, I see all of these things in you. I believe God has been preparing you for this moment. That as you are wrestling through this, it may seem and it may be a daunting task, but God has been with you and is with you during this time. And I want to just encourage you to be a good listener, to look for those things that may need to be built up or recognized in someone's life they may not see on their own. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope your air conditioning is working. And good news, the AC in the auditorium is working. So Sunday, you should all be comfortable. I hope to see you there.